Hello YouTube and welcome back to Pilates Body Studio. My name's Janine. It's day 5 of our posture reset challenge. If you've got this far and you've done day 1 to 4, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've been able to really focus on your posture throughout the sessions, and today is really about just moving and enjoying Pilates, but also recapping over the days with regards to our posture in the exercises. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get moving. So we're going to stand with our feet, I'm going to say shoulder width apart, slightly turned out, natural turn out, nice relaxed position there, and just take a little bend at the knees so they're soft, and we'll weight it down through the feet evenly. Have a sense of pressing the floor down but sending the head up to the ceiling, so you get this long elongated spine, thinking about the posture, head over shoulders, ribs over hips, and then just start to rotate and wrap the arms around your body. So we're warming up the spine, ready for this sequence, just gently stretching in rotation. Now you could keep your head forwards, or you can start to turn, look over your shoulder. If you do get dizzy though, it's probably maybe best to keep the head still, or if you are feeling dizzy, then stop. As always, listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right, stop. And I'm turning, looking over that shoulder if I can, to encourage more rotation. Just check in with the breath. In and out, keep it flowing naturally. And then we're going to start to pick up the heel of one leg. So if I'm turning right, I'm going to pick up the left heel. And if I'm turning left, I'll pick up the right heel. But I come centre bend, straighten, lift. Centre bend, straighten and lift. I've got this slight little plie squat twist. Pick up the heel. So I'm following through with that rotation, twisting round, lengthening up through the crown of the head. A little helicopter swing of the arms, and then let's start to bring the feet back to the floor, keep them down, just keep going with the arms. Maybe they're going big and wide, or maybe they're a little bit smaller, nearer to the body. And then just start to slow that down, hips still, just twisting body, and come to a natural stop there. And just feel the energy in the spine. And then we're going to take our standing balance. We did this on day 1. So I want you to shift the weight over onto that leg, stand down through the foot, push the floor away, send the head to the ceiling, and lift the other leg. Place the foot down, so shoulder width roughly, stand on it, transfer the weight without slouching the hip. So really focus on that posture as you fold the knee. And then we change. So I remember the first day for me, standing on my left leg was really wobbly, but it feels a little bit more balanced today. So bear that in mind, that your balance is different daily, and the more you practice it, the better it will get. So I shift and lift, I transfer, push the floor away, knee fold. You can have your arms out to the side if that helps, or maybe you want to hold on, be near a wall, and hold on to the wall. A couple more here, just rooting down, really elongating the spine. And then once you've done the same to each side, let's rest down. Keep the feet wide and take one arm up. So we're going to breathe in, lift the arm, and now exhale, tip the head over to the side. Now from here, we're going to shift the hip over. So increasing that stretch down the outer side of the body, and then coming back with the hips, return the spine, the head, and the arm. So we go side reach first, then add the hip sway, and then bring the hip to center, body to center, release the arm. So nice breath in, exhaling over, hip sway, inhale, realign, exhale to release. Inhaling, exhaling, over you go. Stretch the side body, keep going. Then return, inhale, hips back, spine back, head and arm. Let's do one more to each side. The last one, breath in, grow taller, lengthen in your mind, shifting that hip out to the side, bringing the hip back. Releasing the arm down. Well done. We're going to now add into that side reach a rotation with a roll down. So I'm going to lift the arm, side bend. So this is a multi-direction here. So I'm doing more than one direction. I rotate. I then nod the head. I roll down towards the foot I stretch towards. I'm going to come into the middle and then I'm going to roll up the center line. So I go into my side bend. Rotate. As I rotate, I draw ribs back to the wall behind me and then nod the head round, down. Come into the center, look to the hips and then roll up the middle. So breath in, exhale, rotate, nod. Inhale, center. Exhale to return. So remember with the breathing, try not to let it confuse you. If in doubt, just let the breath be natural. We come up and over, we rotate, roll down. If you need to bend your knees because your back is tight, you could do that. But make sure when you come up the middle that you straighten the legs as soon as you can because they're involved in bringing you back up. So you want to activate them. Returning to that upright posture and then just bring the feet back to hip width, so comfortable distance apart. We're going to take a regular roll down up into a back bend. So I start at the top, I go head down, chest down, rolling down. Take a little bend at the knees, place the hands on the shins. Now as you lift the head, think about arching your back. So think shoulders back, chest up, coming all the way up. Keep back bending, open the hips, let the arms hang loose. Come back to neutral and ready to go again. Just be careful with the neck that you don't overextend the neck, okay? You do extend it, but you don't want it to be compressed. So we go head down, chest down, rolling down, bend the knees slightly at the bottom there, lift your head, lift your chest, think shoulders back, encourage an arch of your back. So keep arching, I then extend my hips. The weight shifts forward slightly onto the front of the foot as I bend into that back bend and then return the weight even on the feet, return the spine to neutral. So grow taller in your mind, nod the head, bow the chest, rolling down. And then lift the head, lift the chest. Shoulders gliding back, activating the back line of the body. And then we're finished there. And just feel the work in the body, front and back, working together there to keep us upright. And then we're going to take our work down onto hands and knees now. So coming onto our mat, let's roll down here. Let's just walk out and then let's bring our knees down underneath the hips and find that 4-point position again that we had on day 4. So let's just sink between the shoulder blades and then gently press the shoulder blades apart. So this sinking, dropping of the chest, keep the arms straight. So we've got some retraction of the shoulders and then I press the shoulder blades apart so that I come back to neutral. Nice long neck. Sinking the shoulders and then pressing the shoulders apart. So we're going to combine this movement with a hip hinge. So I'm going to start neutral, long neck. I'm going to widen the sitting bone so I feel like I'm arching my back slightly as I go back. I'm then going to drop the chest through the arms, travel forwards, and then level off. So widen the sitting bones, drop the chest, travel forwards, and then level off. So I'm using it as a hip release and a shoulder release. So I come in neutral there, bottom out, chest up. I sink the chest through the arms and then level off. So even though I'm sinking arching, I've still got this kind of awareness of the front muscles. I've got this length in the abdominals as I extend there. Bottom goes out, chest drops down but lifts forwards and up. And then we return to that start position, then just start to shift left to right. So pushing the hip to one side, and pushing the hip to the other side, keeping the back of the neck nice and long, just checking in with the hips, seeing how they feel, left to right. And then let's settle in the middle here. We're going to turn one palm up. So we're going to start to rotate through the head, neck and spine. So I turn the head, turn the neck, I bend the supporting elbow and I thread through, looking up towards the ceiling. I stay in the middle of the mat. I haven't allowed my head to get nearer to this arm. And then I come back through the centre and return the hand down. So I flip the palm up. As I breathe out, turn the head, turn the chest, rotate through the torso, flexing at the hips, and then coming back, untwisting, returning to neutral. So I exhale, stay in the middle, twisting, keeping the long lengthened spine, that long posture of the back, keeping neutral as you twist. So you might notice one side definitely feels different to the other. And that's fine. We're not going to be the same. We're not symmetrical. So we turn the head, turn the chest, twisting through. And then coming back. Last one here. Exhaling. Inhaling back. Let's do a little reset. Let's take a cat stretch. So I go hips, start to rotate the hips over the thighs, round your back, and bring your head in. We're going to rock back towards the heels without touching. We're going to send the bottom out. Lift the chest up. Think about slightly arching your back here as you come forwards. So we take our back into a cat shape, a round back. We shift the weight back to the shins, then stick the bottom out and lift the chest bone up, shoulders back, chest forwards, and then hinge forwards. So that rippling effect, that wave through the back. Let's take one more here. Breathing in and breathing out when you need to. And then resting there. So we're going to hinge back and then come up into 2-point kneeling. And then we take a little kind of squat position. So I shift the weight back into the shins, stick the bottom out, hinge down, hands down, and then forward. So I'm light on the takeoff, and then I'm light on the landing. So this action, this flexion of hips, this neutral lumbar spine is what happens when you get out of a chair. So we want these muscles to be really active and strong. Yeah. So we haven't got to think about the muscles. They're already going to react because they're what gets us up from 4 points into 2 points. So I'm extended up into neutral. So these muscles will be supporting me to stop me from falling forwards. Yeah. So think hips forwards, spine long, hinge back, hands down, rock forwards. So wide, up, down and in. So that length through the spine, continues to be your focus, your posture. And then we're going to stay up in this 2-point kneeling position. And we're just going to reach the arms in front of us. So we're going to stretch through the front body here. As I lean back, I keep my spine neutral. So my abdominals support me, my back supports me, and then I hinge forwards. So keeping long, length through the arms, but keep the arms plugged into your back as you lean back and then forward. So any knee pain, then miss this one out or do the previous one for a bit longer so that you're not straining in the knee joint there, because you are flexing it more, loading it more as well. So be careful, hinging back. Keep that rib to hip connection so you're not overarching your back, just stretching and lengthening through the front there. Last one here. And then resting there. We're going to make our way to a seated position. So seated on the floor is obviously a bit more challenging than seated on a chair. So if you need to sit on a couple of blocks behind you, that might help you keep your back upright. So we want to think about our posture here. Find your sitting bones, so be up on those bony bits. I've got my feet, soles of feet together in a long frog position. They're not too close to me because that makes me roll back. So I want a long diamond shape. Hands on the shins, find your sitting bones. So we're going to gently pull the shin to me and lift the chest bone up as I go into that seated extension. Come back to neutral, roll the pelvis back, press the shoulders back, or spread the shoulders apart, should I say, but keep the shoulders over the hips. Keep the back of the neck long, and then return. So I go arch the back, pull the shins to me, lift the chest up, come back to neutral, roll back, press shoulders apart, keep the shoulders over the hips. And again, so it's like a seated cat-cow that we did on day 2. Rolling back, stretching, and then rolling pelvis forwards to arch. Pressing the shoulder blades back away from you. Pull that rib cage back, draw that tummy in gently, and then lengthen the abdominals as you lift the chest, and then come back to neutral. Let's place the feet flat on the floor, and again maybe move down a bit actually, so you've got the mat behind you. So holding on to the backs of the thighs, and now lengthening. Can you grow taller? Can you elongate the spine? Now as you roll back, try not to overwork the legs here, just rolling back, keep hold of the legs for now. Take a breath in once you've got to about arm length, and then exhale, curl forwards. Think of rolling down over the hips. Once the shoulders are over the hips again, you can restack hips, spine, shoulders and head. So we inhale, lengthen, exhale, roll back. Breath in to pause. And exhale to curl forward, shoulders over hips, and then restack. Back up, long, lengthened spine. So you can keep hold of your legs, or you can challenge yourself a bit further and take your arms in front of you. So I've got this pelvic tilt as I roll back, curling forwards, flexed in the spine, restack onto the sitting bones. Let's take one more here, rolling back. And then curling forwards, shoulders over hips, and restack up onto the bones. We're going to make our way onto our back, down onto our back, and we'll take a single leg stretch here. So I'm going to work the abdominals and the hips. So I start to roll back. You can hold on, but as I roll back, I'm walking my feet in a little bit closer to me. I get to the shoulders here. Place the hands behind the head and lengthen the head and neck. Drop the hips heavy into the floor, single knee fold, draw that leg in without tucking your pelvis. So drop pelvis heavy, come into double knee fold. I'm going to have my legs parallel hip width apart. I send one leg forwards, keep the chest lift, and then change. Keeping that spine in a flex position, keeping the back of the neck long. We can go a little bit quicker if you're happy to. Keeping that chest lift, keeping the back of the neck long. If you're okay to not hold your head, you can start to draw that bent knee in towards the shoulder and change. Try and keep the back of the sacrum heavy, keeping curled up. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to still the legs, glue them together, lower the spine down with control. Have head heavy, ribs heavy, hips heavy. Take the arms out to the side, palms up. We're going to breathe in to roll the hip to one side, and then breath out to use your waist to bring you back to center. Inhale, rolling off one hip onto the other. Exhale to roll back to center. Now, if your legs feel particularly tight or they're working and they're really strong here, you could simply drop your heels towards your bottom so you lessen the angle, which lessens the work in the muscles. So bear that in mind. Keep the knees together, keep the knees above the hips. And if it's too strong with the legs up, you could always place your feet on the floor and do this with the feet down. So rolling to one side, waist brings you back. Rolling and center. So let's think about being even. So if you started left, we'll finish right, and vice versa. And then back to center there. We're going to make our way over onto our front. So let's turn over slowly, safely onto our front. So I'm going to make sure that my front ribs are slightly tucked underneath me when I place my head down and legs down. So I've got this sense of breadth across the chest there. The head is down. I'm just going to shake off my hips, make sure there's no tension around the hips and the back there. And then I start by lifting the back of the head just so it's off the floor. And then I think about these front ribs traveling forward and up, shoulders dropping down and back as I start my extension, and then coming back down from there. It's a bit like a reverse sit-up. So making sure that the muscles at the front of the body are supporting you, so they're not just pushing your stomach into the floor. So hips heavy, legs actively lengthening away, head lifts up, chest goes forward and up. So I've got this half cobra position, this half extension. So you can stay here if that feels like it's enough in your back today. Or if you'd like to come up, when you get to the halfway point, think ribs back and lift up into your full extension of spine and hips. So my legs are lengthening away from the spine as I return. So I've got this direction of head, like I did in standing. My head is lengthening one way and my legs are reaching the other way. Hips drop heavy, shoulders are back, chest is lifted, and then coming back with control. That's the key really, that we control the movements getting into the position, and we control the movements coming out of the positions in the same way. Long lengthened spine there. Check that you're not holding your breath. It's easy to do. If you notice it, just continue to breathe naturally. So really lengthening the front of the body, activating the back of the body will improve your posture. If you are noticeably slouching throughout the day, which we all do, yeah, we're all going to have slouchy moments, which is fine, but it's remembering to balance that off so that our posture isn't too lost along the way. Yeah. And then let's rest down. And if you can, come up onto your knees and push yourself back. Now, if that's not comfortable for you to come into this rest position, you could come onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. So I've got feet together, knees open, and I'm stretching my arms away. Now, if that's too much for your shoulders, you can place your hands under your head, but just take a moment to breathe here. Breathe into the back and sides of the body, into the belly, filling up and then emptying. So breathe wide and full. And breathing out, relaxing any tension in the neck and the shoulders. And then just start to walk the hands towards the knees if the arms are outstretched. Just gradually coming up, making sure you don't rush up. Uncurl the body, bringing the spine upright, bringing the head on top of the spine there. And well done. I hope you enjoyed day 5 of your posture reset challenge. I'd love to hear what you thought. So if you want to leave a comment below, let us know, or click subscribe or the like button so that we can do more videos like this for you. And I hope you're well and take care.